Let's talk about common denominators. We want to write 1/4 and 5/6 as a pair of fractions with common denominators. First, we need to list the multiples of each denominator. Let's start with the denominator 4. We're going to list the multiples by counting by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16. Now let's list the multiples of the other denominator, 6. 6, 12, 18, 24. Now let's look and see if there's a common multiple of 4 and 6. I can see that 12 is a common multiple of the numbers 4 and 6. So now let's rewrite each fraction with the denominator of 12. So 1/4, I know I'm going to write it with the denominator of 12, and I need to ask myself, what do I multiply 4 by in order to get 12? I know that 4 times 3 is equal to 12. So now I must multiply by my numerator by the same number. I will multiply my numerator by 3. 1 times 3 equals 3. So 1/4 is equal to 3/12. Now let's change 5/6 to a fraction with a denominator of 12. I need to ask myself, what can I multiply 6 by in order to get to 12? I know that 6 times 2 is equal to 12. I'm going to multiply my numerator by the same number. 5 times 2 is equal to 10. Now I've made both of my fractions a fraction with a denominator of 12. I have 3/12 and 10/12. Let's try another example. We want to write 1/2 and 1/3 as a pair of fractions with common denominators. So first we're going to list the multiples of each of our denominators. We have the denominator of 2 and the denominator of 3. Listing the multiples of 2, we'll count 2, 4, 6, 8. And listing the multiples of 3, we'll count 3, 6, 9, 12. Now I'm going to look for a common multiple of 2 and 3. I can see that 6 is a common multiple of 2 and 3. So I'm going to rewrite each fraction with the denominator of 6. So 1/2, I have to look at my 2 and ask myself, how can I make that 6? What can I multiply 2 by in order to get 6? I know that 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So I'll multiply my numerator by 3 as well. 1 times 3 is equal to 3. So 1/2 is also equal to 3/6. Now let's change 1/3 to a fraction with the denominator of 6. How does 3 become 6? What can I multiply it by? 3 times 2 is equal to 6. I'll multiply my numerator by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So our fraction pair is 3/6 and 2/6. Now let's write 2/5 and 2/3 as a pair of fractions with common denominators. We're first going to list the multiples of 5 and then the multiples of 3. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 15 is a common multiple of 5 and 3. So now we're going to rewrite each fraction with the denominator of 15. 5 times 3 equals 15, and 2 times 3 equals 6. Our new fraction is 6/15. 3 times 5 equals 15, so 2 times 5 is equal to 10. Our new fraction is 10/15. Now both fractions have a common denominator of 15. Let's write 6/10 and 3/5 as a pair of fractions with common denominators. We have the denominator 10 and the denominator 5. Let's list the multiples of 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now let's list the multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Numbers can have more than one common multiple. 10 is a common multiple of 10 and 5. 20 is also a common multiple of 10 and 5. Let's use 20. Now rewrite each fraction with a denominator of 20. 10 times 2 is equal to 20. So I need to multiply my numerator by the same number. 6 times 2 is equal to 12. So 12/20. 5 times 4 is equal to 20. We'll multiply my numerator by 4. 3 times 4 is equal to 12. Now let's write the fractions in order from least to greatest. We have 1/4, 2/3, and 2/6. First, we need to find a common denominator. Let's write the multiples of each denominator. 4, 8, 12, 6, 12, 18, 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 is the common multiple. Let's write each fraction with a denominator of 12. 4 times 3 equals 12. 1 times 3 equals 3. 3 times 4 equals 12. So 2 times 4 equals 8. 6 times 2 equals 12. So 2 times 2 equals 4. Now that we have written each fraction with a common denominator, let's compare. We're going to use a model. Going to draw 12 pieces as accurate as possible. First, I'm going to shade 3/12, which is equivalent to 1/4. Now I'm going to shade 4/12, which is equivalent to 2/6. And last, I'm going to shade 8/12, which is equivalent to 2/3. I can see that 3/12 is less than 4/12, which is less than 8/12. Now let's use our original fractions. 3/12 was equivalent to 1/4, and I know that's less than 4/12, which is equivalent to 2/6, which is less than 8/12, which is equivalent to 2/3. And this concludes our lesson on common denominators.